Swadikap, welcome back to Striking Nation. This is going to be the second episode of the One Fight Night 34 pre-fight breakdown and prediction. I have already gone over Riken Ursel versus George Jarvis, and in this video we'll be looking at Jaroonsak, aka Supergirl versus Teodora Kirilova. And let's not waste any time at all and jump right into the story of both of these fighters. Let's start off with Supergirl. So Supergirl, if you have been watching Muay Thai for a long time, especially One Championship, you have probably seen her before in some of those viral videos. She's the person that like to throw the spear knee technique, aka the straight knee technique, but what I like to call them is the Supergirl knee. It's the one where she creates a lot of space in the middle of the clinch, she bent like a shrimp, and she pushed the knee forward like you're doing a push kick but with a knee. So aside from that viral knee technique that she like to teach, she used to be a really strong fighter in One Championship. She have fought big names like Stem Fairtex and have a overall great performance. However, after her fight against Christina Morales, she left the fighting game for quite a long time. She's still active on her social. You can still see that she is like going to a bunch of seminars, teaching a bunch of people, but I don't think she was fighting still. But she's now finally back and ready to fight. She's only 21 years old right now. She's a young phenom. One Championship has been trying to push her since she joined, and it's exciting to see her back again. On the other hand, you got Teodora Kirilova. She's a champion for Bulgaria, multiple Muay Thai title outside of the One Championship organization. This is going to be her second fight in One Championship. Her first fight was against Shia Kohan. It didn't went so well for her. Shia Kohan was really strong, but you have to remember that Shia Kohan is also a title contender that has been paired up against the champion in this division, being Alicia Rodriguez twice. So just a tough debut for her. So now she's back. She's determined to make a comeback, bounce back from her loss, and hopefully she can solidify herself in the One Championship scene. Now looking at the stat of this fighter. As I have mentioned before, Supergirl is 21 years of age, really young, and Teodora is 34 years of age. That is gonna be a whopping 13 years age difference right there, which means that Supergirl will have the age advantage here. She's gonna be fresher, she's gonna be hungrier because she want to accomplish more, and Teodora is gonna have the experience on her side, so we're gonna see how that will play out. Supergirl is also a whopping 172 centimeter tall, which is really tall for an atomweight, while Teodora is 160 centimeter tall. That is a whopping 12 centimeter height disadvantage for Teodora. However, when you actually look at the wingspan, which is the distance from the tip of your finger to another tip of your finger, it's actually really close. Teodora is 175, while Supergirl is 176, which means their reach is gonna be around the same. So that is really interesting that Teodora is such a rangy fighter, even though her height is only 160 centimeter tall. Looking at their record in One Championship, Supergirl have 3 wins and 2 losses. For Teodora, of course, this is gonna be her second fight, so she's 0-1 right now and is still looking for that first win. Now, I will get right into the style of both of these fighters. If you enjoyed the video so far, consider giving it a like, subscribe, and let's start off with Supergirl. So since Supergirl has been gone for a long time, I will be analyzing her style using her 2 fights in Muay Thai in one, being the 2020 and 2022 fight. And as for Kirilova, I will be using her 1 fight against Shia Kohan, and also just some random fight I can find before she joined One Championship. So let's get right into that. On the red corner, you have Supergirl. She has an aggressive brawling style despite her tall stature. She loves to go hard at the really beginning with a traditional Muay Thai stand, just marching her opponent down. She holds up her high guard and make use of her main weapon, being her hand combination. Once she has reached the striking distance, she enters the range and immediately would start just throwing hand on her opponent. Most of them gonna be a straight shot, so either a jab or a straight. She like to put a lot of power into her punches, which means she like to dig deep. She will throw her whole body into her punches with the intention of adding more power and also trying to slip her opponent counter. After her punches, instead of moving away, she would continue to walk down her opponent, throwing more short-range shots like the hook, and eventually try to back her opponent up against the corner. And from there, she can reach behind her opponent, pull them into a clinch, and push them away again to control the clinch in a longer range. What that will do is that it will limit the amount of chances that her opponent can throw elbow at her, and it also give her enough space in between to throw her signature straight knee. And in some of the video that she throw, that straight knee can pack quite a punch, especially in a lower weight class, and her style of just forward pressure into the clinch, into the knee is going to be really dangerous, especially if she's the one that is on the offensive. And then on the opposite corner, you got Teodora. She is a southpaw fighter with a high volume punches and strong tip game. She keeps a more narrow Muay Thai stance with light lead leg and her reach allow her to pick her opponent apart from the outside. And from what I can see, her punches seem to be her main weapon, especially in one championship rule set where we have a small glove here. So naturally, a lot of the fighter that fight outside when they first come into one, they would like to enable their punches a lot more. First of all, you can do a lot more damage with your punch with a small glove. And second of all, it kind of acts like a deterrent to prevent the opponent from getting the upper hand in the punching game. So that's what you kind of see in the Shia Kohan fight. Her punches, straight combo, 1-2, jab cross. From the outside, her push kick is really nice. She have did incredible job on Shia Kohan using her push kick to stop Shia Kohan forward pressure. Those were landing really consistently. In a clinching situation, leaving space in between to throw knee, but her knee is gonna be a normal knee style that you see in Muay Thai. It's not gonna be the spear knee or the straight knee that Supergirl like to throw, and I believe that should sum up Teodora's style. Now, how do I see this fight happening? First of all, both of these fighters in their fight has shown some weakness. Supergirl is quite predictable in her combination because she is the kind of fighter that like to chase down opponent with her punches, trying to deep down, get a lot of power and slip the opponent punches. And if you do that a bunch of times, there will be fighters who will notice the pattern and try to exploit it. And that is what happened in the fight that she almost lost in a split decision against Ekaterina Wondereva. What happened there was that in the first round, Supergirl was doing a good job, doing her usual stuff, throwing hand for the long range, get some knee going. However, in the second round, because she has been using the same pattern over and over again, of trying to slip the punch while she throwing her whole body forward, her opponent take advantage of that and throw in a really nice placed knee on Supergirl's head when she was dipping down. And from my view, because of that, it caused a chain reaction that created a sequence where Supergirl was just unable to do anything but holding up her guard, eating like 50 punches from her opponent, and almost getting knocked out and knocked down. Kind of have a feeling that I thought she was gonna quit on the stool after that. But somehow she came back. In the third round, it was a really close fight, and in the end, the win go to Supergirl. People were saying that she shouldn't have won. The fight was stolen from Ekaterina, and that fight stirred up a lot of controversy involving Supergirl being the person that the organization like to push and everything. So definitely, that is one big weakness that she have is her being too one-dimensional sometimes and not able to mix up her combination and the lack of defense that she shows from time to time. And then for Teodora, I think the main problem just seemed to be too slow for the pace. Shia Kohan was giving her no space to work her range. She kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And to be honest, Teodora kind of cracked. She also have really little head movement. Her head like to stand still as she is punching, and her style is really susceptible and can be exploited by a consistent, fast-moving, push-in all the way through movement like what Shia Kohan did, and aggression is probably gonna be the key to defeating her. So after I've talked about their style, their strength, their weakness, what do I actually see happening from these two? We have seen Supergirl knock out her opponent before. She have the aggression in the initial round, but she can get reckless in her defense, and as long as she can patch those holes up, she should be really good in this fight, and I see her as a favorite to win. For Teodora, the thing that she should be doing is that she have to work up her range, a little bit more active in her footwork. If she gonna play defensive and try to get the score up in round 2 and round 3, where we have seen Supergirl struggle in before, it would be really good of her to employ a bunch of her tip. I believe Teodora have a really good tip game that is going to be her main weapon that can give her the victory. If she can exhaust out Supergirl in the early round, let her be aggressive in the first round, try to hold her on the second round, run away with the score in the third round, I believe that is how she can win against Supergirl. But still, overall, I believe that Supergirl is probably gonna win this fight, but you also cannot discount Kirilova either. Both of them are hungry. Supergirl is coming back into the game. For sure, Supergirl is trying to make a name for herself again. On the other hand, Teodora is looking to make a bounce back. So I think this is gonna be a really interesting fight overall, and I look forward to seeing it. So that's everything that I have got to say, and I will see you in the next video for the fight between Rung Lavi and Yusef Asaksik. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so, leave a like, and I will see you in the next video.